Thanks for rejoining us. I am back now with Ariane. He is a volunteer member of the Real Talk Youth Impact Program. Welcome to the show, Ariane.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. We've had a chance to kind of interview before. It's been since January of this year.
Right.
And you've had a little time under your belt now as a member.
Yeah.
How's it going in the program? And what kind of changes are you seeing?
It's going pretty good. The changes that I'm seeing is that, it's a lot more speakers coming to the program. I'm getting better at speaking to crowds. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too much of, I don't believe, but a speaker, but this has helped me out to
but you have a story to tell.
Yes.
And I sense when I watch you speak that story's coming from your heart.
Yes, it is.
So it's much easier to articulate
right.
that when you're passionate about it.
Yes, it is. It is. From where I came from, a single parent home, growing up in Southeast San Diego. I had a lot of challenges, but at some point you have to make a change, and I did that, and so that's one thing I like about this program, because it speaks to the youth, but it's men and women who've changed their lives that are speaking to them, that have went through similar things that I went through.
If you could elaborate on that, what is your story, or what was your journey when you weren't making the best decisions?
It started like around 14, 15. I started, hanging out, doing drugs, marijuana mainly, and alcohol. Then it went to more advanced, I don't want to say advanced because it's all bad, but I went to more stuff that, would maybe get you more penalties in the, at the law enforcement level. But it started marijuana, alcohol, then cocaine, it's methamphetamines, those type of drugs, and I pretty much did that from 15 to like 25, and at some point I just said I can't do this anymore if I want to have anything in life, and being a Christian man now, because I look back, I seen that God at all time at each of those points in my life was there, even when I hadn't recognized Him as being my Savior.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So it was that, and then coming to a point where I was like, drinking a lot of alcohol, and you tell yourself as someone who's an alcoholic and a drug addict,
mm-hmm.
you tell yourself, I'm gonna use the lesser of evil. So my thing was alcohol too. So I said, I'm not gonna mess with the cocaine anymore or the other stuff. I'm just gonna drink, and drinking. When I got to one point, I drank, and then what happened is I said, once you get the alcohol in you, it's like, forget this. I need to go get me what I really want.
So that wasn't working either.
Yes. So I eventually went back to, the cocaine. But one night that had happened to me, and I just, I wasn't able to find any cocaine, and I eventually just fell asleep in a drunken stupor, you would say, just intoxicated. And when I woke up, and I just, I guess it's that spiritual awakening. It was like, I can't do this anymore.
Okay, so that was the epiphany for you that kind of got you back on the right track.
Right.
Why are you so motivated? Like I said, you've been doing this now for a little while. Why do you remain dedicated to volunteering your time? Because this isn't something that you have to do, but this is something that you want to do. Why do you feel driven to do what you do?
Well, I feel driven because I know as a youth how I turned out, and I don't mainly blame that for not having a father figure, but it's certain circumstances in your life that you see that happen, and that if somebody would have came and talked to me in a male role, maybe a male role figure, anyone, what I'm saying, it may have changed some things. I don't want to blame it on those circumstances, but my father not being there, and then just I also have a son who's locked up at this time, and he never seen me do any of the things that I did before I got clean.
Okay.
He had not seen any of that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had my son, he seen his father working, providing for him, showing up to his football games,
Mm-hmm.
and doing the best I can as a man to be a father to my son. He got in trouble with the law. I tried on many occasions to tell him, you're going down the wrong path, and you need to turn around, you need to change this behavior. We got into it a few times. Eventually, he did a crime with some other guys, and they was gang bangers, as they called themselves. I don't know what this stuff is today, but anyway, he ended up, he's right now in the Clark County system doing time.
So what is he telling you about that experience? Just to kind of bring home that this is not a place that you'd ever want to be.
Right.
What type of experiences is he sharing with you?
Well, if with him, it's more of a remorse. I should have listened to you, Dad, and I understand it. And like I say, I went down that road. Fortunately, the time that I did wasn't a lot of the time that some of the members that speak to the youth did, like years in the penitentiary, and I thank the Lord for that. I don't know how I would have done in those types of situations, but he's just remorseful, and I always loved my son. I never said, okay, since you did this, I don't want to have anything to do with you, because I understand, I stood where I was at, where I came from, and I just didn't understand I'm being a father to you, and you have both of your parents, but it goes to show that, it can touch anyone, what I'm saying?
Right.
Anyone can get into a bad situation because of choices that they make.
Right, and you certainly have to do everything that you can to find your way back and find your way out of the situation, just like you did.
Yes.
So when you're standing up there and you're speaking with the children, what's going in your mind, what's rolling around in your head as to what you want to say to them? Where does that come from, and what is the key message that you're trying to deliver?
It's coming, like you said, from the heart. It's coming from a place of understanding. It's coming from a place of caring, wanting to see them do better than they're doing. Just like someone said, Cherie would say that you are future, and then that kind of clicked. I was like, wow, yeah, these are the people that young men and women that are going to be doing the job that we're doing now,
Exactly.
or in government, and like you had the judge earlier, and it's just I don't know. It's more so of, I feel like I have to do this. You know what I'm saying? This has to be done. They don't have advocates, so we got to come in and speak to them and let them know that there's someone that cares about you.
Well, the program is certainly happy that you're doing what you do and you're so committed and dedicated to it. What do you feel, and I asked this of Judge Jones, but what do you feel are some of the main challenges that kids are facing today, whether it's peer pressure or some other element?
Yeah, peer pressure. Mm-hmm. That's I think that's with any youth. I think that when I was coming up, that was the thing. Bullying. I heard a lot about that. My son said he had some, and my daughter would tell me, because they went to high school together, about people inflicting pain by the words that they spoke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that was one of the things that my daughter said that might have triggered my son to get into acting out
I
because
see.
he didn't want to. He's like, I can't take this no more, so I'm gonna start fighting back. And I always used to be like, you can't really just start fighting in a manner which isn't, right. You can't put your hands on people.
Exactly.
And so I think it's this thing now with Facebook, and I hear a lot of them. I'm really challenged when it comes to electronics, but I hear a lot of that stuff that goes on is like on Facebook, bullying and stuff. And then what these kids deal with in school. It don't have to be on Facebook. It can be face to face. I heard one incident that my son got kicked out of school, and I never want to make it seem like I'm defending him for any wrong that he's done.
Sure.
So I remember him telling me that the young man struck him in the face, slapped him, and he said he did what I said and kind of like tried to remove himself from the situation, and I guess it came down to he got in trouble and the kid got in trouble. But I guess it's instances like that, where kids are either bullying another kid physically or even, with words.
Well, keep mentoring him. Keep mentoring all the children of the program.
Yes.
As I said, your message, what you're sending out to them is vital. Vital mentoring, very important
Amen.
service that you're giving. So continue that. We look forward to having you back on the show again,
Yes.
Ariane.
Yes,
Okay,
I
well,
will.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.